Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're reviewing a Cadillac XT6. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Provo Cadillac here in Provo, Utah for giving me some time with this XT6. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions, just ask for Alec. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a 3.6-liter V6 that goes through a 9-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 18 around town and then 25 on the highway, with power outputs being 310 horsepower and then 271 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So taking a look at the hood, you guys can see how you've got these kind of distinctive lines there on either side. And then I like the light design here, kind of like mini Escalade in a way. Grill's all blacked out on this one, so the contrast with the black and the white looks really sharp. Now on the side here, our tire wheel setup is 235 by 55 by 20 in the front and over in the rear. And you can see here with the wheels, you got the silver with the metallic gray. You got the red brake caliper as well, which is really cool if you ask me. Got these nice body painted fender flares. You can see the Cadillac badge there. Got the chrome trim on the side. And then taking a few steps back, here's your side profile. And this of course leads us to the key fob. If it'll ever focus on it. There we go, lock and unlock. Got the opening for the hatch remote start. We got the Cadillac logo and pop it open. Now popping into the rear, you guys can see we've got a decent amount of space behind the third row here. Again, not going to be massive because this segment of SUV has never been known for tons of space. What is really cool though is the seats. You can see they're automatic with the fold down and raise with the third row, and then the second row, it's just with the fold down. You have to raise them up yourself. And then you can see a little storage space there. But yeah, pretty typical. And then when you're all done, just press that and that'll lower the hatch right back down. I like the taillight design here. I think it's pretty cool looking. Parking sensors there on the back. And other than that, it's the rest of the rear. So taking a look at the door panel in the rear, you can see we've got soft touch here at the stitching that goes across. I like that trim, that's nice. Look at that, and that's cool as well. And then more of that nice soft touch trim with the stitching. Speaker here for the sound system. And here are the seats. Pretty fancy looking. And before we pop in the second row, quickly want to show you the third row here. So the seats themselves, you can see, look pretty nice. The only downside here, I can actually move this. The only downside with the third row is going to be the legroom. It's not bad in terms of the foot space, just you are pushed up a little bit with your feet, so your knees kind of sit a little bit higher. And headroom's not bad. I would say this is pretty good for adults, but still reserve it for kids, just like most in this segment. Legroom in the second row, it's good. My knees aren't pushed up too much. Got a little storage pocket there, got our own climate zone in the rear as well. And then headroom overall back here is pretty good. And this of course leads us up front. Again, with that nice soft touch trim down below. All of our window controls here. Got the front two windows, which are automatic, mirror adjustments, memory seat function, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. And here's the front seat, the Cadillac logo, perforated all down the center. All of our adjustments here on the side. And then this isn't soft touch, but you got cool stitching there at the top, and then controls for the heads-up display.
Tweet out.
Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you can see this one has Super Cruise, which is always nice. Paddle shifters there on the back. Practical controls here on the front, including controls for our volume stuff. We've got our adaptive cruise control, well, Super Cruise, which is Adaptive Plus, I guess we'll call it. Anyways, regular stocks there on the back. And then we do have this mostly analog gauge cluster actually, but we do have the digital screen there on the center to show you different bits of vehicle information. That's the only thing that might date this for some people. 360 camera system with this. It's got a bunch of different angles. Really good resolution, normal General Motors fashion. But yeah, quick response time with this whole setup. Easy enough to use. Has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. See little shortcut buttons there, and then at the bottom. And then we actually have physical climate controls with this. Heated and ventilated seats, which is always nice. Dual zone climate. Now, although this isn't soft touch here, it is down below with the trim. And then you get that cool kind of like gold effect across the dash. And here's the quick look at the glove box. It is soft touch on the outside glove box. Shifter there for the 9-speed. Got the cup holders here. You can see with the analog control for the radio, and then this is for the infotainment system if you do not want to use the touchscreen. Stability control, that's for your drive mode select, which pops up here. And yes, it does have two-wheel drive if you want. Wireless phone charging pad, and I should mention all-wheel drive too, of course. Anyways, there's a center console storage. Nice trim here on the top. Camera rear view mirror. Nice premium headliner. Panoramic sunroof. Bit of glare, so it's going to be kind of hard to see the whole window sticker, but total price on this is $76,765. Let's see how it performs. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Over the hood, put the mirrors, do the rest of the rear, and let us set off.
Of course, they want to decriminalize illegal immigration.
Oh boy, we got news. But again, it sounded like conservative news, which that is the core demographic of Cadillac buyers. So it works. I seriously find it funny where, like, I get into cars and sometimes radio stations are on, and I really do think the radio stations perfectly fit the cars. Like I was in a Nissan Leaf a few weeks ago for a review, and it was on MSNBC. And you know, when I get into like some of these cars that are to the older demographics, it's like Fox News, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. The person who buys this car is probably going to be listening to that. I know, I love it. I think it's hilarious. So it's kind of a funny little thing. Anyways, driving the V6 is really smooth. 9-speed smooth. Now I'll just say it right away. I still think that Cadillac is missing the boat on the XT6 by not offering a more premium high performance powertrain. They have that V6 3.6 liter V6 turbo that's in the Blackwing CT4. That needs to be in this car, like yesterday. Seriously, I don't get it, because, like, you know, Lincoln with the Aviator, those sell pretty darn well, and yeah, that's got that 3 liter V6 turbo. So I don't know, I think they're missing the mark a little bit here. This is a nice car and it drives well. Just you know, could use a few updates to make it a little bit more competitive within this segment, I would say. And then on top of a few little updates, I think that, yeah, powertrain, just a more powerful powertrain. Doesn't have to be, I mean, like I said, that engine would be great, but just something with at least 400 horsepower, because this amount of power in this segment, it's adequate, but it's not competitive. I mean, you look at BMW X7, you look at Aviator, you look at even the Lexus TX, everything is more power than this. Now what this has that those don't is reliability, so yeah, you do have that. But yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents there. So let me know what you guys think about the XT6. I think this is a nice 3-row luxury SUV. I actually really like this interior. I like how it drives, and I like the overall feature setup. I mean, it would be cool to see Cadillac's modern infotainment system gauge cluster put in here, but overall I like it. I just think that it needs a slightly I just think it needs a slightly stronger powertrain, that's all. It's not a big deal. But let me know your thoughts on the XT6.